Good morning, party people. So today we're going to go through a grooming video. I've had so many requests for this going on for years now. We're finally doing it. So today we're going to cover off manscaping, how to look after the body, face, hair, teeth, smell, and also how to feel good on the inside and have that come out. So we're going to start today with a bit of manscaping. I'm going to show you what I do to kind of keep myself in check. Maybe you can replicate this yourself at home. So I'm going to start with saying I'm not a particularly hairy guy. I have a pretty hairy chest, but that's about it. I don't really have anything across my shoulders, not much on my stomach or my back, but the few hairs I have had, I kind of look after. So recently I've actually had laser done on my stomach here because I had just like a few odd little patches of darker hair on my stomach. I've just done laser treatment to get rid of that, and it's worked pretty well. So we don't need to worry about that one. Chest. I'm going to show you what I use for this one. As I said, I like to stay pretty rugged, so I keep clippers, and I kind of keep it like every once or twice a fortnight. I go through and just keep it kind of the one length. So what I use for this is, I've got this like Remington clipper here, which, will I focus if I do that? Ooh, no, no, no. Low. So I use this Remington clipper here. I find this like pretty ergonomical, easy to use. And I've got two length settings. So I've got a 4.5mm clipper here and a 6mm clipper here. Now what I do is, I kind of go over the outsides of my chest. Because I have quite a broad chest, I find that I don't like it looking too hairy up the tops or on the sides. So I trim essentially the outside with the 6mm. And then for other spots, detailed spots, I use the 4.5mm, so under here where it sort of fades into my stomach and across my collarbone into my neck, I use the 4.5mm just to tighten things up. So let's get into that. Cool, that's it. And really, like I said, once or twice a fortnight, I go through, just give it a bit of a trim. I don't like to be hairless, but I also don't want it to be like too overgrown. Also because obviously I work in fitness, the more definition it shows through, the less hair you have. As for the laser, I get a lot of questions about that from my friends. It wasn't too painful. It's just like getting kind of plucked. As I said, I'm not particularly hairy in my stomach, so I didn't have too much to do. But yeah, I would look into it. It may not be for you, but for me, as I said, the hairs weren't particularly dark. I didn't have a whole heap there, so it was a pretty natural decision for me to go about that one. Next, we move on to the beard, how I look after this. So I should preface this one with, again, I use clippers, but as I've got a bit of a beard at the moment, I'm actually going to use scissors for this part. Now, for the neck, I normally shave in the shower. In fact, I do most of my grooming routine in the shower, but that's not going to really work here to show you guys what I do. So I'm going to work around that one. So you have to bear with me while I shave my neck here and while I trim my beard. Okay, so when it comes to shaping the beard, I like to essentially keep it even all over the face and then just along the jawline, nice and tight. I'm not too worried about like being too full. I do like to keep it off my lips though, so I've actually grown it out for the past week just so you can kind of see how I trim it off my lips, how to keep the shape of the moustache without sort of getting overgrown and getting in the way when you're kissing someone. So I've got this really cute little moustache comb here which I use. I comb everything down over the lips, like so. Then I get my cute little moustache scissors and I just hold this down with the comb and actually follow the line of the lip. So, combing it down over the lip, you can see there's a few straggly hairs. Get my scissors, which have fluff on them, and I just follow the line of the lip. There we go, moustache is even. Neat means that I can also not taste it when I lick my lips. Now the other thing I like to do here is I also keep the hair up on the upper part of the lip a little bit neater, so I go through and cut off any straggling hairs there. There we go, so we just neaten that up. As you can see, I haven't really touched too much here on the sides. I'll go through again with my little scissors and cut any stragglers away, but for the most part, I leave that. Every couple of weeks, I'll again go over it with clippers just to kind of give it an all over length. but for now I don't really need to do that. So I'm gonna get the scissors here and give it a little bit of shape. So what I'm gonna do here is I get a longer comb, longer scissors. I brush the beard down so it's nice and neat and straight, and then I can cut into the shape I want to follow the jawline. Okay, so as I said, because I trim this with clippers, there's not a whole heap to do. It's more just like those stragglers that stick out from the face. This is kind of like a constant work in progress too. I find some hairs I just miss because they've been tucked in or they've grown out. So I just kind of keep an eye on it each day. If I need to, I can cut away those hairs. Nice and simple. Now, shaving the neck. Again, for this one, there's a big difference between shaving on the jawline and shaving on the neckline. You never want to shave on the jawline because that's when you get that real like Craig David beard style, and ain't nobody got time for that. So we want to go through and shave down here. I kind of put my head up, and essentially where your neck meets your chin, that's where you want to follow that line. So that's how I've done that here. You can use expensive razors if you want. I mean, I'm not doing any sponsored work here, so I'm going through and using these like a pack of 10 cheap ones because I don't shave my neck all that often. Normally I use clippers. I normally go through like once a week and give it a clean shave. So I'm just going to use these big cheapies right now. I'm sure most barbers out there are cringing watching this because I'm not using like a hot towel. I haven't prepared the neck. I'm doing this cold, but I'm doing it for you guys, so they better appreciate it. Okay, so as you can see there, I've kind of gone through and just followed the neckline to start with, cleaning that line up, and then I'll go from there down. Okay, so there we go. So obviously I've done a brush job and I'm bleeding everywhere, but we'll pretend that didn't happen. So next thing we talk about is hair. A lot of people ask me what sort of product I use in my hair. I have no one particular brand I use. I mix this up. Some days I don't even use product. I tend to like that natural sort of beachy look, bit of texture. That's how Nick and I actually cut my hair. So if you go up there, you can check out a video of how to cut your hair like me. But I tend to use like a matte clay for the most part, which is like this one I've got here. This one's by VO5. I don't even know what that brand is. It's a matte clay. So I use a tiny bit of this. Literally just a tiny bit on the tip of my finger. In my palms, and I rub that in. Then, yeah, almost like I have nothing in my hands. I go from the back and I scrub it up forwards. Making sure to get along the hairline where that fade is, up through the front. Done. It's pretty simple. My hair, I mean, I play with my hair all the time. You've probably seen me sort of scruffing it up and messing it around, so that's the style I like. That's how I do it. Pretty simple. All right, next thing I'm gonna do here before I leave the day is brush my teeth. This is a must-have. Oral hygiene is very important. I look after my teeth, so that's why they stay nice and big and white and shiny. I'm currently using a charcoal-based toothpaste, which you can see if I move. There we go. So I'm using a charcoal-based toothpaste right now. I just find that this seems to sort of work in really whitening up my teeth that extra bit. I'm not gonna go through and brush my teeth. I've already done that this morning, but if you don't know how to brush your teeth, I'm sure you can talk to a dentist about that one. I also floss regularly. That's important. I don't have any floss here because I didn't remember it. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is talk about how we smell. We're showered, we're clean. We wanna stay smelling clean all day. This next product I've been using for years. It's a stick roll-on style deodorant. It's a clinical one. They just released it in a roll-on and a spray. So I'm stoked because I genuinely love this product. You'll be seeing some more posts about this on my Instagram soon talking about it because I'm all for this product, 100%. This is not paid, I just genuinely love it. So I'm using this Rexona Men Clinical. It smells good, it goes on easy, and you can train all day, you can sweat. You're never gonna get that BO smell to you. You're just gonna smell fresh. It's amazing. I cannot recommend this stuff highly enough. I've got so many of my friends onto it. You're next. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna put on a little bit of cologne. Again, I don't have one particular cologne I use. I'm not working with a brand right now to promote anything. This one I've been using all week this week. It's Sauvage by Dior. I really like this one, hence why it's almost empty. But yeah, I tend to mix my smell up depending on how I feel. I would recommend keeping it a selection. I know they seem like a bit of an investment, but they're just that. They are an investment. Spend a bit of money, you know, smell better for a long run. And a guy that smells nice always get a better response. Now we're gonna finish off here talking about skincare. Now this is something I get asked a lot again about how I look after my skin. My routine is very, very minimal. I live by the ocean, so I swim a lot. I get a lot of salt water on my skin, which really helps. But sun protection is super important. Now I use sunscreen all the time. This is like a coconut lotion, so it smells pretty good. It's 50 plus SPF. Now what SPF means is, essentially says whatever that number is, you're that many times, it's gonna take you that many times longer to get burnt. So say you go in the sun, it's really strong, using this one is gonna take you 50 times longer than without it to get burnt. It's not gonna protect you entirely, but it's gonna reduce the harmful UV rays. So highly recommend getting a good sunscreen, keeping covered up. Okay, now the last thing we're gonna talk about here with skincare is drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated. We're made of like 70% water. You've got to have more water in your system. I do preach this a lot, but it's because it works. Keep yourself hydrated, look after your skin. You're gonna look younger for longer. That's it, guys. Nice and simple today. If you've got any questions in regards to grooming, send me a comment, DM me on Instagram, @isnathan, any of those things. I'll see you guys next time.